Hi folks, welcome to another edition of the Friday Hi-5 features, featuring, you guessed it, 5 items that I've picked of interest. And for the last couple of weeks, we've been going through, specifically like tool technology, a couple of books, some online and some offline inspiration. But today I'm going to mix it up a little bit, and for August 19th, I'm going to pick 5 South by panels that you don't want to miss. Now, don't turn the channel. Don't stop. I know that the panel picker process is not that awesome, spectacular. Cece and Deborah had some great posts about how we should be thinking about the South by panels, how we should be promoting or not promoting the South by panels, and what we need to look for and in the content that we want to consume. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'll be a 6-year veteran of South by this next spring. And while I love going to South by and getting to see people I haven't seen in, months, be able to have fun and hang out with folks and, the great conversations that happen in the corner, those shouldn't just happen in the hallways. Shouldn't happen in a quiet corner that you can find. They should actually be taking place as part of the conference as well. I know a lot of people that have been going to South by for the last couple of years and haven't paid for a pass. They're just going for all the parties and everything else that's, going on. Now, granted, the parties are great, but usually the music's too loud and things are too crowded, and even, the smart people that I want to connect with and have in-depth conversations, you really have to remove yourself from those situations, from those areas in order, to have that type of dialogue. I would really like to be able to pay for an interactive badge and get content that I want to consume. And content that's not on the most common denominator. Content that is at the level to where, we're talking about advanced topics and we're delving into some, serious nitty-gritty issues. I'd love to have a conference like that. Now, conferences are being created every 3 seconds, it seems like, and I'm not saying that we should, reinvent the wheel. South by is a great opportunity. A lot of people are going to be there. Let's just take advantage of it and have the most beneficial, content that we can possibly get. So that's why I chose 5 panels that I want to be able to see at South by. And the first one is Digital Immortals, Preserving Life Beyond Death. Now, I went to a couple of panels last year, and I was disappointed by every single one of them, except for the one by Adele, and gave you some links below. But this panel, now, while you may have nothing to do with content management, it really makes you think about how your personal content is out on the web and what will happen to all of the investment that you've given to your online persona, your online presence, and what's going to happen at the end of the day when you're no longer there. So that panel last year I found was really great. It seemed to tackle a lot of content in a short amount of time. I walked out of there really thinking about things that I wanted to do differently, and with resources that I could take the next steps, what I needed to do to preserve my my content online. The next one is Brain-Based Bonding, Winning People with Experiences. And I found this panel to be really intriguing because not only do I know the presenter, but I think that we need to start talking more about social skills and start thinking about the intent and the motivations behind our communications, not just kind of a slapstick approach and see what flies, see what doesn't. There's much more beyond A/B testing and trying to figure out what resonates with your consumers. Tweet A, tweet B, whatever it may be. There's so much more that goes into creating content and participating in conversations with your communities. And so I think that this panel will, I hope, really fulfill kind of the content that I'm seeking at South by. Next up is the power of visual storytelling. And, I know all of the people on this panel, but what I'm going there for is I'm a text person. I can write all day long, but thinking and creating content that is more visual in nature, that's a little foreign to me, and that's something that I want to, continue to learn. And I want to be inspired by new ideas, and I know that these people will bring it at South by with this particular panel. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's the inspiring content. Next up is customer communities connecting to the future. And so I should probably have a disclaimer here that my new boss will be on this panel. But I'm really intrigued to know and to be inspired more by those enterprises that are, getting their footing in the social space. They may, over the last 2 years, they might have had a lot of one-off campaigns, etc. But how do you start to get that holistic social presence? How do you integrate it into your overall communication strategy? How do you scale your community response? And I think that the people that are on this panel are going to tackle those tough questions. And I think it's going to go beyond, just the common denominator level of, hey, you got to get out there and communicate, right? It's going to be addressing actual concerns that an enterprise faces as, as your maturity level grows in social media. And last but not least, my panel. And why I'm telling you my panel is not to get you to go out there and vote, but I want to have a conversation while I'm at South by this year that goes a little bit deeper into, oh, I guess I need to have a community manager, or, what does a community manager do? Oh, it goes way beyond just sitting in front of Twitter and Facebook all day. I spent much of last year trying to figure out how not to be the community chick, okay? And because I felt, that it was, the conversations weren't addressing the type of communication that I was involved in. And I've grown to find over the last couple of months, I'm very passionate about this topic. And I not only do I have a lot to share, but all of you have a lot to share with me. And I want to start, having these types of conversations, asking some of the tougher questions, going beyond just the common denominator, what is a community manager? What is a community manager versus social media manager? And let's talk about what we do on the tough days, what we do in tough situations, how we scale our community response, how we adapt in a highly regulated industry. Let's talk through these issues. Let's have, a very interactive conversation. Let's, all walk away with something actionable that we can do that has inspired us to do something better, to do something greater, not just for ourselves, but for the organizations that we represent. We're going to South by, a lot of us, not as, individuals, but representatives for our company. So I'd like to be able to take the panels that I go to at South by, or the experiences that I have at South by, and take them back with me and be able to say, you know what? Had this, great insight from so-and-so, and this is what we could do better, or I never thought of it that way. What can we do next? Let's take this back to the table. Let's discuss it with the rest of my team. So I'm looking forward to be inspired this time at South by. Please don't disappoint. Find panels that really resonate with you. Vote for those panels. Don't just vote because everybody's begging you to vote for them. As Deborah points out, find people that know how to speak, that are going to give great content, that you have context, with the panel. And as Cece says, don't just vote for the panel. Comment. Tell other people why that's going to resonate with you. Tell the people on the panel what you're expecting of them. It's all about those expectations, and if we don't let our expectations be known, we'll be dissatisfied every single time. So, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend.